This is an adversary hearing. Mr. Hill is with us representing the mother, Ms. Styles, who is with us. And one of the three alleged fathers, Mr. Hunter, is with us.
Good morning.
The other two alleged fathers, Eric Lopez and Cody Scott, are not with us, and they are not in the waiting room. This case was set for 12:45. It's now 12:51. We will proceed in their absence.
Who do you work for?
I work for the Amarillo Police Department.
And what do you do for them?
I'm currently assigned to narcotics.
And are you a certified police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And what education and training did that require?
I go through the Amarillo Police Department Academy, and then I get accredited by TECOL.
Okay. And are you current on your continuing education requirements?
I am.
Thank you. Let's see. How long have you been with Amarillo Police Department?
I've been with Amarillo since December of 2017.
And let me get the date. On July 12th of 2021, were you assigned to patrol in East Amarillo?
Yes, I was.
And were you involved in a call that involved contact with Dominique Styles?
Yes.
What was the nature of that call?
Domestic disturbance.
And at what point did you make contact with Dominique Styles?
I made contact with her after she had already left the hotel and she was found under an underpass.
Okay. Did she have a child with her?
Yes.
Did she identify that child?
Yes, it was an infant. I believe his name was August.
Okay. And did she identify that child as her own?
Yes.
And what was Ms. Chitwood's account? I apologize. What was Ms. Styles' account of what occurred with Paul Chitwood?
So I believe her and Paul were not together, and he had found out somehow that she was in town and tried to no, he didn't try to contact her. Her friends found him, or he came to a location where her friends were and they thought it was weird. And then somehow her and Mr. Chitwood got in contact. He wanted to give her a gift, like a baby item or something like that. And then they met together. And then while they were meeting to get the gift, he started throwing out things from his vehicle and things like that. And then she picked up his things because she felt bad and tried to get the things back. And he was able to convince her to get a hotel room for the night with him. And then while they were in the hotel, she was assaulted.
Can you tell us what details she gave of that assault?
Yes. She said specifically about the assault that she was hit with a lamp in the back of the head and I believe on the shoulder. And then he had physically assaulted her with his hands and then put his hand around her neck, but she did not lose consciousness or anything like that.
Did she indicate where the baby August was during the altercation?
If I remember correctly, the baby was with them in the hotel room.
And did she identify Paul Chitwood as the father of the child?
Yes.
All right. During your interview with Ms. Styles, did she identify or state that there was prior domestic violence between her and Paul?
Yes, she did.
And to clarify that he had physically assaulted her prior to that date, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she fill out what's titled an IPV assault report?
Yes.
And did she sign that assault report?
Did she sign it?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay. Have you, as far as the incident report, you are a certified police officer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners exhibit number 2, the incident report for this July 2021 incident.
What objections?
No objection.
Answer 2 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next offer petitioners exhibit 3, which, Your Honor, now that I'm looking at it, is incorrectly labeled as 2. If that could be corrected on everyone's exhibits labels. It's an IPV assault report that should be petitioner's exhibit 3, and it is incorrectly labeled as 2.
I'm not sure I'm following you.
Petitioner's exhibit 3, I accidentally labeled it as 2 as well.
Oh, I'm not on mine. I've got 1, 1A, 2, and then it goes just 3, 4, 5, 6, 6A, etc.
I don't know how I have this one labeled as 2 then, Your Honor. Okay, I will move on. Thank you. But I do offer petitioner's exhibit 3.
Okay, objections? Okay, petitioner's 3 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next offer petitioner's exhibit number 4, the indictment against Paul Chitwood for a domestic violence incident against Dominique Styles occurring in, let's see, September of 2020.
Okay, objection? All
No,
right,
Your Honor.
petitioner's 4 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next offer petitioner's exhibit number 5, the incident report tied to that petitioner's exhibit 4. So number 5 is the incident report, and we offer that as evidence as well.
And objections? 5 is admitted then.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Styles, was Paul Chitwood arrested that day? I'm sorry, Ms. Giles, Officer Giles, was Paul Chitwood arrested that day?
Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill?
Just to clarify, I think it's clear to everybody your testimony was unambiguous, but Ms. Styles, Dominique Styles, she was the victim of this assault, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. No question.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Giles, sorry. Was it clear from your indications that Ms. Chitwood went with Ms. Styles went with Mr. Chitwood voluntarily?
No, she said that she was afraid of him, so she went with him.
Okay. But did she hold him at gunpoint or threaten her in any way?
She was not held at gunpoint, and I'm not positive if she was threatened during that time or not.
Okay. And she was in a different location initially, is that correct? And then met up with him?
That is correct.
Okay. So she voluntarily went to meet up with him, and then the hotel may have been not voluntary.
Correct.
Okay. Pass witness.
Anyone have further questions for Officer Giles?
No, Your Honor, we request that she be released.
All right, then if there's no objections, Officer Giles, I'll release you so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
The department next calls, let me get that name again, Paulette Hernandez.
Okay, she's still not in my waiting room. I have Eric Young.
Okay, let's see. My investigator, Marcos Favela, says that she's in the waiting room. I believe you, Your Honor. Let me get with him again.
Okay.
We are resending that link to her, Your Honor.
Okay. I will watch for her.
Thank you. I'll take Eric Young out of respect for the efficiency of the court.
Okay, I'll get Mr. Young in.
Who do you work for?
Amarillo Police Department.
And are you a certified police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a certified police officer for?
Coming up on 2 years now.
Can you tell us what special education and training that required?
TCOL license, all the training for CIT, all that kind of stuff. So the Texas TCOL has numbers of courses that you have to go through and certain hours that I've done. So I've had thousands of hours of training.
Can you tell us what TCOL abbreviation stands for?
Texas Commission of Law Enforcement.
Thank you, sir. And how long have you been a certified police officer before? Is it 2 years that you said?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you been with Amarillo Police Department that entire time?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you respond to a call on March 20th of 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
And did that call involve Cody Scott and Dominique Styles?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the nature of that call out?
Verbal domestic was the call out that was placed, and that's what we saw when we arrived.
And were Cody and Dominique outside when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you observe about Cody regarding any injuries?
He had a huge cut in between his two eyes on his forehead that was actively bleeding.
Okay. And what statements did he make about how he got that injury?
He said he was working on the house and he got it from working.
Okay. However, were you concerned did you have some concerns about those statements?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a part of your investigation, did you also make contact with other potential witnesses?
Yes, ma'am.
And did one of the witnesses have a video of the incident that you believe caused the injury?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
Can you tell us what that video showed?
So that video showed the two of them arguing and Dominic going to her vehicle with Cody following. Cody then leaves the vehicle and Dominic follows, and Cody tries to reach out and kick her to keep her away from him. Dominic goes then back to the car. Cody follows, and then there's an object thrown from the car and it hits Cody in the head. Cody immediately falls down to the ground. Dominic gets in her car and drives away.
Okay. And who was arrested from this incident?
Dominique Styles.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners exhibit number 23, the incident report from that day.
Right, objections? All right, petitioners 23 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Officer Young, have you had an opportunity to look at petitioners exhibit 24, a set of photographs?
Yes, ma'am.
And are these photographs a true and correct, I guess, accurate depiction of what you saw that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is in these photographs?
Cody.
Okay. Is it Cody Scott that's in these photographs?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the first picture one of his full body?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the second picture one of his upper body?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the third picture a close-up of the cut that is bleeding on his forehead?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners exhibit number 24 as evidence.
Objections? All right, 24 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Officer Young, during the investigation, did it come to light that there were prior incident reports between Dominique and Cody?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your Honor, we next offer petitioners exhibit number 21. And that is an APD incident report involving Dominique and Cody.
Objections? All right, this was what, 21?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 21 is admitted.
We next offer petitioners exhibit number 22. And that again is a police report involving Dominique and Cody.
All right, objections? All right, 22 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next ask that the court note on page 13 of that exhibit 22 that Miss Dominique Styles states that she is 9 weeks pregnant and that Cody knows.
All right, so noted.
All right. I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill.
Officer, were there any children present?
No, sir.
Okay, no children present that you were aware of during your call out or the events leading up to your call out?
No, sir.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wiggins.
No questions.
All right, Mr. Hunter, I apologize. I skipped you on when we had our first witness. Do you have any questions for Officer Young?
I do not, Judge. I'm not sure why I'm here other than to get an order establishing paternity.
Well, I told you at the last hearing you were welcome to come or not come until we get the paternity testing done. I assume you've not been tested yet.
No, sir, not at present.
Right, but I still, you're welcome to go if you'd like.
I'm no one here at my place of business. I do kind of need to go. This doesn't really pertain to me. So I just, out of respect, I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, I appreciate that, but no, you're free to go. You're really, until if you're not established to be the father, then you've wasted your time, and if you are, then you'll be entitled to be at the hearings and have representation if you can't afford
The court
representation.
has my full cooperation. I assume I'll be notified by mail or email.
Yeah, they'll let you know as soon as you get tested and when those results come back. And if you're not, you're out of the lawsuit. So,
All right, sounds great.
okay, I'll let you go. I appreciate you showing up.
Thank you. Absolutely. Anytime. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye,
You
all.
too. All right, then. If no one else has further questions for Officer Young, can he be excused?
I have one follow-up question, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Officer Young, was Miss Styles pregnant at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions for Officer Young.
All right, if no one else does, if no one objects, Officer Young, I'll go ahead and remove you so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony and thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh. All right, Ms. Gutierrez. I'm sorry, you do have Paulette Hernandez in the waiting room now.
Okay, I'll call Paulette Hernandez then.
Okay. Miss, where she is? There she is. Miss Hernandez, if you'd unmute, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi. If you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Thank you, Miss Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Paulette Hernandez, who do you work for?
Perfect Regional Medical Center.
And what do you do for them?
I'm the medical records clerk.
Okay, and as that, are you the custodian of records?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And have you provided records to my office for the Department of Family and Protective Services regarding the child Leslie Jean Richard Styles?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And are they 25 pages of medical records?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
Okay. And is it in the ordinary course of business for an employee with knowledge of the act, event, condition, or opinion or diagnosis to make the record?
Yes.
As well, was the record made at the time of events or near the time of events?
Yes, ma'am.
And the records that you provided, are they are they exact duplicates of the original?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we offer petitioner's exhibit number 1.
All right. Objection? Okay. Petitioner's 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next ask the court to note page 21 of these records and the statements regarding methamphetamine.
Give me just a second here. Give me just a minute to find, I've got all these exhibits came in several emails.
Yes, Your Honor. If it helps, it's an email number 1.
You mean the first one that came in, or?
I labeled exhibit email number 1, exhibit email number 2.
That's not how I got them. I'm just going to have to go through till I find the one that has the first ones.
And Your Honor, it's actually page 20. When you get to that exhibit, I'm asking the court to take notice of page 20
Okay.
of that PDF.
I'm sorry. I'm still looking. I think I've been through all of them and I did not see.
Okay, if I may have permission to publish.
Sure.
All right, let me get this nice and big so it's viewable. Let's see here. Share. Says sharing is not turned on, but I've sent a request.
Okay, let me allow it.
Your Honor, is my screen viewable to the court?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is page 20 of the records, and the PDF page count, it's 21 because the affidavit is the first page.
All right. You can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next ask the court to note that this page 20 of the medical records also discusses withdrawal symptoms of the child.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. And may I unshare my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Hill?
Thank you, Judge. With respect to exhibit one that we were just on, Your Honor, on that same page, I would like the court to draw the court's attention to the bottom of the paragraph where it says mom is appropriately upset that her baby is not doing well and needs to be transferred away from her. But at this time, she denies any questions or concerns. She agrees to cooperate with CPS recommendations and is hoping to be reunited with her son.
All right. So noted.
Other than that, no questions for this witness.
Okay, Ms. Wiggins, questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further of Ms. Hernandez?
No,
No.
Your Honor.
Oh,
All right, then if there's no objections, Ms. Hernandez, thank you for your testimony. I'll remove you so you can go back to your afternoon's business.
thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You too. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me ask, can I ask who's in the waiting room?
No one.
No one. Okay. The department calls, let's see. Okay, it looks like I need somebody from the alcohol and drug testing services to testify before I call my next couple of witnesses, Your Honor. If we could have just a moment or two to allow them to log on.
Right.
Thank
I'll
you.
look for anybody that enters the waiting room.
Okay, thanks.
Up here's someone now, Terry Holstead.
Okay, that's my witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Holstead, if you would unmute, please. All right, thank you,
Yes.
ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. If you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is it Holstead or Homestead?
Holstead,
Holstead, thank you. My hearing is bad. I really appreciate that. Who do you work for?
Texas Alcohol and Drug Testing Service.
And what is your role there?
I'm a custodian of records.
Thank you. And have you provided 3 pages of records regarding the child August Chitwood to the Department of Family and Protective Services?
Yes,
And were those records made in the ordinary course of business?
yes,
Do they also contain a chain of custody
yes,
as well as a printout from the lab that is a certified lab?
yes,
Thank you. And are these records kept in the ordinary course of business?
yes,
Are they made at or near the time of events?
yes,
And is it in the ordinary course of business for Texas Alcohol and Drug Testing Service to keep these records?
yes,
And are the records provided exact duplicates of the original?
yes.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners Exhibit 1A as evidence.
All right, objections? All right, then 1A is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
Mr. Hill?
No questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
No questions.
All right. All right, anything further of this witness, Ms. Gutierrez?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me get back there real quick. All right, Ms. Holstead, I'll remove you so you can go back to your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
And the department next calls Michelle Slagle as its witness.
All right. Ms. Slagle, if you'd raise your right hand. Slagle, if you'd raise your right hand. Oh, I'm getting feedback. Okay, that's getting feedback. No, still am. No, still am. If you can maybe turn down your volume.
Yeah, is that better?
That's a little better. I can still hear me.
Okay.
Amy, can you hear her?
I can hear her, but that echoes.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work.
Let me try something else. Hold on.
If that doesn't work, Michelle, you can try turning off your speaker. I don't know why. Sometimes that helps.
Did that help any?
Let me say something. Yeah.
Does she have YouTube going? Sometimes that causes it.
Did we lose her?
We might have.
I think we did. I don't see her. Let's see if she'll come back in a different form. Maybe that'll take care of it.
Okay.
So far, it's been a real Monday.
I appreciate the humor, Your Honor.
We've had issues most of the morning. All right, here she is again. Let's try it again.
Okay, is that better?
It is for us. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, Miss Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Has she been sworn in, Your Honor? Did we get that far?
No, we didn't get that far.
All right, Michelle, if you raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Miss Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Slagle, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries as a permanency specialist.
And what does a permanency specialist do?
We work with families after they have been removed from CPS investigations. We help with family plans of service and child plans of services and resources for the family to get back together for reunification.
How long have you been a permanency specialist for?
For St. Francis, for 3 years and, over 3 years and 2 years with the state before we switched over.
Okay. And when you worked for the state, was that the Department of Family and Protective Services?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were there, you had pretty much the same position with a different title. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. How do you know Ms. Dominique Styles?
I have been her caseworker for a few cases.
Okay. And was that first case involving the children King, Ariana, and Shay?
Yes.
Do you remember approximately what year that case occurred in?
I believe that was in 2020.
And what were the main issues in that CPS case regarding those 3 children?
The main issue was the meth use by Styles.
Okay. And was domestic violence also a concern involving that removal?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. And what concerns were there with King's birth?
He was born positive with methamphetamines.
And Your Honor, at this time, we offer petitioners exhibit number 6. It has a business records affidavit and the 90210 notice went out timely.
All right, objections? Okay, 6 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Are you very familiar with Dominique Styles based on your work with her over the years?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you also the caseworker for Ms. Styles's case with the child August Chitwood?
Yes.
Now, going back to the case involving the first three children with the infant King, what was Dominique's explanation for King's positive test for methamphetamine at birth?
If I remember correctly, it was that Eric or somebody had put meth in her water bottle, and she drank it.
Thank you. And Your Honor, on Exhibit 6, we asked the court to note page number 21 regarding the mother and the baby both having amphetamine and methamphetamine in their urinalysis drug screens.
All right, so noted.
Thank you. Now, did Ms. Styles continue to test positive during King's CPS case?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, we next offer petitioners exhibit number 6A. They are drug screen results with a business records affidavit on Ms. Dominique Styles.
All right, objections? Okay, 6A is admitted.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Slagle, there was domestic violence between Ms. Styles and King's father, Eric Lopez. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Your Honor, we next offer petitioners exhibit number 7, the incident report on domestic violence for Ms. Styles and Eric Lopez.
Okay, objections? All right, petitioner 7 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next offer petitioners exhibit 7A, a certified copy of the complaint against Ms. Styles for assault family violence.
All right. Objections? All right, 7A is admitted.
We next offer petitioners exhibit number 7B, the judgment against Ms. Styles. And I believe that's an order of deferred adjudication, Your Honor.
On that same assault.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, objections? All right, 7B is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Slagle, as a permanency specialist, are you often called a caseworker?
Yes.
And as a caseworker, what are your duties regarding a service plan, creating a service plan for the family?
It's our job to ensure that when we make that service plan, that it is tailored to the family's needs and to the parents' need to mitigate the reasons for removal.
And did you create a service plan in King's case, or was a service plan already created?
When I got the case, one service plan had already been created, and then I went forward with the reviews.
Okay. And did those service plans, did that initial service plan attempt to address Ms. Styles's drug use and the domestic violence concerns?
Yes.
And was that initial service plan made an order of the court?
Yes, it was.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners exhibit number 8, a certified copy of the status order in the King Lopez case.
Objection? Okay, 8 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Slagle, what was Ms. Styles' compliance like with the services in King's case?
She was very, she wouldn't do the services. I guess she didn't think she needed to do the services. She moved around a lot, so it was hard to keep in contact with her through those services also.
Was she also ordered to provide her address and contact information to you?
Yes, that was one of the services, an ongoing service on that service plan.
And what was her compliance like with that?
She did not. It would go a month or so or longer with no contact. And then she would call with a different phone number in a different state that she lived in.
And did she comply with drug testing requests?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as far as how the case ended for those first older 3 children, is it correct that Ariana aged out of care?
That's correct.
Shay's case dismissed the department and his father pursued legal action on his own. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then the case on King, the department was dismissed in a temporary order. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did that temporary order also restrict visitation for Ms. Styles?
Yes, it did.
Your Honor, we next offer petitioner's exhibit number 9. It's entitled Order to Modify Temporary Orders and Dismiss the Department of Family and Protective Services. And that's in King Lopez's case and cause number 77549-L1.
All right, objections? Okay, 9 is admitted.
Okay, thank you. Now, Michelle, when was August's date of birth March 24th of 2021?
Yes.
And
Or 2020 is it 2021 or 2022? Yeah, 2021. Sorry. I
Okay.
think
And do you recall what state she was born in?
she was born in New Mexico.
And did Ms. Styles inform you of her birth?
No, ma'am, she did not.
And did that birth occur while the CPS case regarding King Lopez was still ongoing?
Yes,
However, August was removed from Ms. Styles on September 29th of 2021. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And what were the main issues involving August's removal?
Domestic violence, and meth use, and not having stable housing and employment.
Okay. Now, regarding domestic violence, was that with Paul Chitwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And did Dominique continue to test positive for methamphetamine during your case, the CPS case with August?
Yes, she did.
Your Honor, we next offer petitioners exhibits 10, 11, and 12. They are drug screen results of Dominique Styles, all with business records affidavits.
Objections? Okay, 10, 11, and 12 are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Slagle, where is Paul Chitwood today?
He is in federal prison.
Okay. And Your Honor, we next offer petitioners exhibit number 13 and a certified copy of the federal indictment of Chitwood.
Objections? All right, 13 is admitted.
And we next offer petitioners exhibit 14, the federal judgment for Mr. Chitwood.
Objections? Okay, 14 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Slagle, we had a jury trial in September of 2024 regarding August's CPS case. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you recall Ms. Styles testifying about the July 2020 incident that involved law enforcement and Paul Chitwood in the hotel room?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you recall Dominique stating about smoking methamphetamine that day, if anything?
If I remember correctly, that she smoked the methamphetamine, so Paul would not get mad at her and there wouldn't be an argument.
Okay. And according to Dominique, August was not there at the time of the smoking methamphetamine. Is that correct?
That is correct.
However, she next testified that she left the hotel to go get August. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you recall how long after smoking methamphetamine did she say that she left to go get August?
I believe it was three to 4 hours, if I'm correct.
Okay. And then she testified as well that she brought August back to the hotel that she had smoked methamphetamines in a few hours earlier. Is that correct?
That is correct.
According to Dominique, that the domestic violence incident with Paul next occurred once August was back with her at the hotel with Paul.
That's correct.
And August tested positive on a drug screen for methamphetamine for a sample that was collected on October 7th of 2021. Is that correct as well?
That is correct.
Once August was removed, was Dominique again given a service plan?
Yes, she was.
And did those services focus on the substance abuse and the domestic violence concerns again?
Yes, it did.
And did she comply with a good number of these services?
Yes, she did.
However, would you agree that she did not complete all of the drug services?
That is correct.
All right. There was a final order in August's case, let's see here, in which Dominique was made a possessory conservator, and this happened before the jury trial that terminated her rights. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's see here. Your Honor, I offer petitioner's exhibit number 15, a certified copy of the status hearing order in August's case.
All right, objections? All right, then 15 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, that cause number for August's case is 80487-L1.
Okay.
And I next offer petitioner's exhibit number 16, a final order in suit affecting the parent-child relationship, a certified copy in August's case.
Objections? All right, 16 is admitted.
Thank you. Your Honor, we next ask the court to note in petitioner's exhibit 16 that Dominique was ordered to successfully complete outpatient treatment at Senecor,
Okay, so noted.
that she was ordered to successfully complete individual counseling as well as domestic violence support group.
Also noted.
Ms. Slagle, do you recall if Ms. Styles completed all three of those that were ordered in exhibit 16?
No, she did not.
Okay, which of those did she not complete?
She did not complete the Cinecor, the inpatient rehab, the violence support group. I'm sorry, and what was the other one?
Individual counseling.
And she did complete her individual counseling.
She did?
Well,
Okay.
not her extended, not the one that was she finished her original one, but not the one that was scheduled for the extension.
Okay.
Court reordered. Yes, that's correct.
All right. How was her visitation attendance with August towards the end of that CPS case?
Towards the end, she would be late or cancel. She always had a reason why she was going to be late to her visitation.
Okay, and because of that, did we obtain a temporary order modifying visitation?
Yes,
Okay, and that was on June 17th of 2024, is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
Your Honor, we offer petitioner's exhibit number 17, a certified copy of the temporary order modifying visitation ordering a substance abuse assessment.
All right, objection? Okay, 17 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, that order also ordered Ms. Styles to do a substance abuse assessment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what was the reason for asking for that substance abuse assessment?
Because she had failed another drug screen.
Okay, and that was in May of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And then her rights to August were terminated at the end of that jury trial in September of 2024. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Your Honor, we next offer petitioner's exhibit number 18, a certified copy of that order of termination.
All right, objections? All right, petitioner's 18 is admitted.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Slagle, did I already ask you if Ms. Styles completed that OSAR assessment that was ordered?
No,
Okay, in exhibit 17, did she complete that OSAR assessment?
yes, she did complete that OSAR assessment.
Okay, let me re-ask. So in exhibit number 17, that hearing was on June 17th of 2024, correct?
Oh, yes, that is correct. No, she did not. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Now, an OSAR assessment is a substance abuse assessment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And is that a service or assessment that's necessary for an evaluator to determine what type of treatment, if any, is needed by a customer?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And so without that assessment, basically there's no second step if she doesn't complete the first step. Would you agree?
Yes, that's correct.
During that jury trial, did Ms. Styles admit to having smoked methamphetamine during several pregnancies?
Yes,
Okay. Did she admit to smoking methamphetamine during her pregnancy with King?
yes,
Now, going back to the domestic violence issue, did she ever make you aware of a relationship with Cody Scott while her parental rights were still intact for August?
No, ma'am, she did not.
Had you ever heard prior to this new case that she was in a relationship with a Cody Scott?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, we asked the court to note in petitioner's exhibit number 22, at the end of page 13, that Dominique advised she and Cody were in a dating relationship for almost a year, however, had not been together for the last 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so noted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Slagle, would you agree that that time frame, if petitioner's exhibit number 22, let me get that date. If that incident occurred in December of 2024 and they'd been together over the past year, would you agree that their relationship overlapped with August Chitwood's CPS case?
Yes, it would have.
And is it also concerning for you that there had been domestic violence in that relationship again?
Yes, that is very concerning.
And to your knowledge, there was domestic violence with her relationship with Eric Lopez, the father of King. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Domestic violence in her relationship with Paul Chitwood, the father of August. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And now domestic violence with Cody Scott, the father of, or the alleged father of Leslie. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How many years have you been working with Dominique?
About 5 years.
Okay. And
Maybe a little bit over 5 years.
And despite her being offered services, despite her completing some services, do you see the same issues today in Leslie's removal as in King's removal?
Yes.
Do you see the same issues today in Leslie's removal as in August's removal?
Yes.
And are those issues domestic violence and Ms. Styles' methamphetamine use?
Yes, it is.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill,
No question, Jar.
Ms. Wiggins.
No questions, Judge.
All right, anything further from Ms. Slagle?
Nothing further, Your Honor. And if I could have just a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Thank
I have
you.
just so you'll know, I have a Zariah Sanchez in the waiting room.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Zariah Sanchez as its witness.
Okay.
I work for the Department of Family and Protective Services as a child protective investigator.
Okay, and did you assist with an investigation regarding Dominique Styles?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the child involved in that investigation Leslie Jean Richard?
Yes, ma'am.
And you may not be aware, but since then we've found out his last name is Styles. Were you aware of that?
No, ma'am. I
Okay.
was not.
That's okay. His date of birth is July 27th of 2025. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now you interviewed Miss Styles on July 26th of 2025. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did that interview occur?
It happened at the Hereford Regional Medical Center.
Okay. And where did Miss Styles indicate she was currently staying at?
Miss Styles stated she was staying with an aunt and an uncle in Amarillo.
Okay. And did she discuss any possible criminal charges pending?
She stated she had an incident with a friend where she threw a Coke can at his face, which allegedly cut him, and so she was charged with assault for that.
Okay. And what did she state regarding any meth use with this friend?
The whole reason she met with this friend was because she had just used meth at his house.
Okay. Thank you. Additionally, did she make any statements about THC gummies?
She stated she was given some it wasn't gummies, it was chocolates. I believe it was around chocolates or gummies, but she stated that the father of the children have given it to her, and she was pulled over, and during a search they found it in her purse, and she was not aware she had it at the time.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Mr. Hill?
No questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Did she admit to taking that methamphetamine voluntarily with that friend?
She did not explain.
She just said she did methamphetamines.
Yes, she did methamphetamines with this friend at his home.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
And I do have a couple more questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Sanchez, who did Ms. Styles state that the father of the baby was?
She assured me it was Joe Bob Hunter from Vega.
Okay. And what agreement did she state that she had with him regarding the baby?
She stated that Joe was going to be primary care of the baby. He would ensure all the baby's needs were met. Her plans were to go back to Las Vegas to reside with her older children. But it was my understanding that Joe was going to be the one taking care of the baby, and
Okay.
she would be allowed to see the baby.
Thank you. She states she found out she was pregnant when she was 19 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. And there's evidence that she knew she was pregnant at 9 weeks. Would you agree the statement contradicts that evidence?
Yes.
And when did she claim was the last time she used methamphetamine?
I believe it was with that friend when they used at his home.
Did she acknowledge that she is not in a position to raise a baby right now?
Yes.
Okay,
She did.
Pass the witness.
Anyone else? All right, if no one else has further questions, do you need her to stay?
I do not need her to stay, Your Honor.
All right, then if there's no objections, Ms. Sanchez, I'll release you so you can go about your afternoon's business, and thank you for your testimony.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And Your Honor, I think Michelle Slagle might have come back into the waiting room. We all had an opportunity to question her, correct?
Did anyone else have further questions for Ms. Slagle? She's not in my waiting room, but
Okay.
was everybody through with her?
I did have one more question for her, Your Honor, but if she's not in the waiting room, I can ask her to come back later.
Okay.
Thank you. And the department calls Isamar Hernandez Pineda.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez?
Thank you, Your Honor. Isamar, who do you work for?
For the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And are you the main investigator regarding the intake for the baby, Leslie Jean Richard Styles?
Yes.
And did those intake allegations come in on July 26th of 2025?
Yes.
And what were those allegations?
There were concerns that Ms. Styles and her baby had both tested positive for methamphetamine at the birth delivery of the child.
All right. And based on that intake, did you start your investigation?
Yes.
Okay. And then on July 27th, 2025, did the department receive an additional intake?
Yes.
And what was the concern in that second intake?
There was a concern that the baby had worsened in his condition and he was needing to be transferred over to the NICU here in Amarillo at Northwest. The main concern was that Ms. Styles had refused the transfer.
Okay. However, that transfer did occur. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is Northwest Texas Hospital where you made first contact with the baby Leslie?
Yes.
And what did you observe?
The first time I made contact with Leslie at the hospital, he was not on oxygen at the time, but he was still being tube fed, and he was still having withdrawal symptoms. I believe when I spoke to the nurse, she did state he was sneezing, and I believe it was just sneezing.
Okay. And then on July 30th of 2025, you met with Ms. Styles at Northwest Texas Hospital. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what complaints did she have at that time?
She was complaining that the NICU staff were not taking care of her baby adequately. She had concerns that they were judging her and her baby for the methamphetamines that was found. She felt like they were being not nice towards her or the baby. And she ultimately felt like they weren't taking care of her baby correctly as far as feeding Leslie correctly and things like that.
Okay. And did you redirect Ms. Styles back to the department's main concerns of the methamphetamine use?
I did.
And who did she identify as the possible father of Leslie?
She identified 3 potential fathers, Cody Scott, Joe Bob Hunter, and Eric Lopez.
And is Eric Lopez also the father of King Lopez, Ms. Styles' older child?
Yes.
Thank you. And then what did she explain about her last use of methamphetamine?
She told me the last time she used was when she was 19 weeks, I believe. She stated that the man that she was with at the time was using an Alka-Seltzer bomb, which is where they mix meth and Alka-Seltzer together. And she unknowingly drank this drink that had methamphetamines in it.
Okay. And did you express concern with the levels of or rather just the presence of methamphetamine in the urine?
Yes.
And what did she respond with?
She let me know she thought it was from exposure from the people that she was around. She thinks that's why her and the baby were both positive.
Okay. And did she insist that she was telling the truth?
Yes.
And did she reiterate her agreement with Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
And could you tell us what that agreement was?
That he was going to be the one taking care of the baby. I believe she said that she wasn't mentally or financially able to care for the baby at the time.
And then on July 31st of 2025, you spoke with Joe Bob Hunter. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what did he state?
He let me know that there's no way that he could be the father as he has not had any physical contact with Miss Styles. I believe he said it was a year or 2.
Okay. Now, the department decided to remove Leslie. Can you tell us what the factors were that led to the decision to remove the child?
Yes. Our main factor was the fact that the baby and mom both tested positive for methamphetamine. Miss Styles has 2 previous cases, if I'm not mistaken, 2 previous cases of the removal of her children due to methamphetamine use as well as domestic violence. So there seems to be a pattern of Ms. Styles using methamphetamines and not being able to remain sober in order to be reunified with her children.
And as far as the reasonable efforts to prevent removal, did the department evaluate the case for a family-based safety services program, which would be a non-legal intervention program?
We did, and we felt like it was not appropriate for this case.
And can you tell us why you felt it was not appropriate?
We felt it wasn't appropriate due to her previous history with the department, as well as previous safety plans and previous cases being broken and not followed.
Okay. Did you feel that the child was in immediate danger to his physical health due to the mother's methamphetamine use?
Yes.
And are the domestic violence a concern for that as well?
Yes.
And as far as assessing for a parent-child safety placement, if the family-based safety services program, does that mean is not appropriate? Does that mean a parent-child safety placement is not appropriate as well?
Correct.
Okay. And that parent-child safety placement wouldn't have ensured the safety and done away with the immediate danger to the child. Is that correct?
Correct.
And since the fathers are alleged and mom would be the sole caregiver, an emergency order removing one parent from the home would not have solved the problem either. Is that correct?
Yes.
Let's see. Now, following the removal of the child, did you make contact with Eric Lopez?
I did.
And what were Mr. Lopez's statements regarding the allegations?
His statements were similar to Mr. Hunter's. He said the same thing, that he could not be the father. He hasn't had contact with Ms. Styles in years.
Okay. And did you also make contact with Cody Scott?
Yes.
And what statements did Cody Scott make regarding the allegations?
I met with him at the Potter County Detention Center, and he let me know that he thought he was the father. However, he wasn't aware that there was potentially 2 other fathers, and so that did make him question whether or not if he was the father. That was his statement.
Did he make any statements regarding drug use?
Yes.
What statements did he make?
I believe he told me that he and Ms. Styles used methamphetamines towards the beginning of their relationship. And he also mentioned being in jail for a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance for having methamphetamine.
Okay. Has Ms. Styles been allowed to visit Leslie since the removal?
Yes, she's had visitation that was done through St. Francis.
Okay. And have you and St. Francis maintained contact with Ms. Styles as well?
Yes, I believe I haven't talked to Ms. Styles since the last hearing that was continued, but yes.
Okay. And is that contact and facilitating that visitation, is that a reasonable effort to reunify the family since the removal?
Yes.
Now, we have the department's motion for aggravated circumstances against Ms. Styles in this hearing as well. Are we asking the court to grant that motion?
Yes.
And is that based on the positive drug screen of August Chitwood?
Yes.
And is August Chitwood Ms. Styles' child?
Yes.
Do we believe that granting that motion would be in Leslie's best interest?
We do.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins?
And just to clarify, Miss Styles, I'm sorry, I keep calling her Miss Chitwood. Miss Styles indicated that she herself agreed that she would not be able to care for the child. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in regards to the alleged father who was incarcerated, he indicated they used methamphetamine together. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so he indicated that she voluntarily used and he didn't force her to use or she didn't accidentally use.
Correct.
Now, where is the child currently placed?
He's placed in a foster home here in Amarillo.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Hernandez Pineda, is Leslie placed with his half-sister, August Chitwood?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I'm sorry. And is placing the child also with family also a reasonable effort to reunify the family?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. No one else does. Do you want her to stay?
I would like for her to stay, Your Honor, and I recall Michelle Slagle as my witness.
All right. Let me find her. Ms. Slagle, if you'd unmute.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's fine. You're still under oath, so Ms. Gutierrez, you can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Slagle, during the final hearing in August's case, did Dominique Styles testify that she would allow Paul Chitwood to see August but not have access to August?
Yes, I believe she did.
Okay. And is it your understanding, based on Ms. Styles' testimony, that she was a main caretaker for August?
Yes, she was.
And as far as the July 2021 incident, did Ms. Styles describe the place where she got August from and then took her to the hotel room with Paul? Did she describe the place she took August from as a safe place?
Yes, she did.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anyone else for Ms. Slagle? All right. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. The department rests. I do ask, well, before I rest, that the court take judicial notice of Texas Penal Code 22.041 that includes endangering a child. And we ask the court to note subsection C-1. Let's see here. And that creates a presumption when a child is positive, Your Honor, that crime has occurred.
Okay. 22.041C1.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, I'll look at that. Okay, you rest, Ms. Gutierrez?
I rest, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hill, witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I wish to call Dominique Styles.
Okay. Ms. Styles, if you'd unmute, please. All right, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, you're gonna have to speak up. I can barely hear you. I know the court reporter can't.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, if you'd raise your right hand, ma'am. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Dominique Styles. I am the mother of Leslie Jean Richard Styles.
Thank you, ma'am. You have been present during the hearing today, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me, let me direct you to the hospital, well, the issues at the hospital that were testified to. Specifically, we'll start at Regional West, or I'm sorry, we'll start at Hereford, the Hereford Medical Center. Did you refuse to let the baby be transferred to Amarillo?
No, I did not.
Can you please explain what took place during the time that you and the baby were at Hereford, the Hereford hospital people are potentially misinterpreting as a refusal?
Yes. That I gave birth to Leslie Jean at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 27th, and around 9 or 10, I believe it was, is when they had informed me that they had called CPS because I tested positive. So they took the baby to the nursery, and this was 3 hours after he was born. I didn't get to feed him. I didn't see him get fed at all. They took him to the nursery. They were really worried. They said they were worried about his breathing and his heart rate and just things that are signs of meth withdrawals. And then I asked them if I could see him, and they said that they had to speak with my caseworker and find out. And then I asked the nurse, I forgot what her name was, but I asked the nurse if she could take the baby book in there to have it stamped with his feet prints. And she took the book in there, and she came back maybe 5 minutes later, and she said that we can't, she
Your
couldn't.
Honor, I object to hearsay as well as relevance.
I'm sustained as to hearsay.
Did the nurse refuse to grant your request to have the baby's footprints put in your book?
Yes.
Okay. Were you denied access to your child at that point?
Yes.
Did you attempt to try and convince the hospital staff to let you well, actually strike that question. Let me back up a little further. Was it your understanding that the child was having trouble eating?
Yes.
Did you offer to try and feed the baby yourself?
Yes.
And did they allow you to do that?
Not at first, no.
Okay. Eventually they did?
Yes.
And were you able to get the baby to eat?
Yes.
And was it, were you able to get the baby to eat because you used a different nipple on a different kind of a nipple than they were recommending, a bottle nipple?
We believe well, I believe that he was better eating with that. The doctor agreed with me. Dr. Davies
Your Honor, again, hearsay.
Overruled. You can answer, ma'am.
The doctor agreed with me. They're the ones that switched the nipples in the first place. Said that he wasn't eating well with the standard nipples that came with the package, and they switched to the Nuck ones. And I got him to eat really good with that, like another 15 milliliters or however they measure that.
Okay. So the baby, again, you were told that the baby needed to be transferred to Amarillo, correct?
Yes.
Were you told why the baby was needing to be transferred?
It wasn't until they came back and told me that they couldn't take the book, but it was because his blood sugar was crashing because he wasn't eating well.
Okay. But he would eat for you though, right?
Yes.
And did you offer again to try and feed the child to try and get his blood sugar up?
Yes.
And did they let you do that?
Again, not at first, but yes, eventually.
Okay. And so did you ever flat out refuse to let them send the baby to Amarillo?
No, I did not.
What did you say to them regarding transferring the child to Amarillo?
I asked them, like, if he needs to eat and I can get him to eat, like, let me try to feed him and see if we can get his blood sugar up before we transfer him to another town where I wasn't going to be able to be with him. And it took a while. It was more arguing back and forth. The nurse said that she had called CPS to tell them that I would refuse to sign the paper. And I told her that I wasn't refusing. I just wanted to feed him and try to get his blood sugar up, because if his blood sugar was up and he was eating, then why would he need to be transferred?
And to your understanding, based on what you were told, that was the one and only reason that they wanted to move him to Amarillo was a blood sugar issue, correct?
Yes.
And the blood sugar issue was based on him not eating.
Correct.
But you were having luck getting him to eat.
Correct.
Okay, so eventually the child was transferred to Amarillo.
Yes.
Did you then make your way to Northwest? And the child was transferred to Northwest Texas, right?
Correct.
Did you go to the NICU at Northwest Texas?
Yes. It was the next day. Yes.
The next day?
Yes, I stayed at I was in the hospital at Hereford overnight.
Okay. For your care, correct?
Yes.
And then you were discharged?
Yes.
And then you immediately went to Amarillo Northwest.
Correct.
Did you have what interaction did you have with the staff or the child at Northwest?
When I got there, they told me he had a feeding tube in his nose, and they said that they put that in because his blood sugar was crashing, and that way they can make sure he's eating and maintaining his blood sugar. I tried to feed him. They said that he wasn't eating very well still, so I told them, let me try. I tried to feed him. I got him to eat a little bit, but he was still kind of gagging a lot. And I asked them what his blood sugar was and like what could be done, like why was he gagging and if it was because of the feeding tube. And they said that the baby didn't feel it, that wasn't the problem. And I asked him what his blood sugar was, and when it was checked, and they hadn't checked it. So I tried to feed him, and they had just the standard nipple on the bottle, and he was kind of gagging on the milk and gagging on the nipple. So I asked him what happened to the nipples that Dr. Davies sent with the nurses to Northwest with him, because he was eating good on those. And they said that they don't use those at Northwest. And so I did ask the nurse, I said, well, if I go get some more, can we use that instead? And at first by the doctor, I was initially told, yes, that was fine. But then when I went back for his next feeding, they were using the other bottle again and saying that he wasn't eating very well again.
Okay. Were you ever allowed to use the nipple that you had success with in Hereford?
Yes, a couple times. But then a nurse came and argued with me about the nipples not being right, and the nipple that the other doctor, the Nuck nipple, leaks into the back of the throat and can cause him to aspirate, and that it wasn't a safe choice, and they didn't have enough data. They had a speech therapist and an occupational therapist come and say the same thing.
Your Honor, I'm going to again object to hearsay.
Okay.
Okay, so moving forward in the hospital at Northwest, did they try and restrict your access to the child?
Yes. They told me that there was a no touch time. It's where I guess the baby goes into an REM sleeper, but I had to put him in his crib and leave him there, and I needed to leave the hospital.
Okay.
So
Did you, when they told you that you couldn't touch him because of his sleep, did you obey that?
Yes.
Okay, but they also told you then that you had to leave the hospital, that's right?
Yes.
Were you given a reason why you had to leave?
Just not to disturb, so it wouldn't disturb his sleep.
Okay. You weren't given the opportunity to just sit there quietly and just be with your child. You had to leave.
Yeah, they
Your
told me.
Honor, I'm going to object to relevance along this line of questioning at this point. I feel it's been going on for a bit.
Overrule. You can answer, ma'am.
No, there wasn't. They told me that I needed to go home and I needed to sleep.
Okay. So let me then redirect here. And the first officer that testified, and I think he was the first witness, Officer Eric Young. Do you remember that officer that testified?
Yes, I do.
Regarding Cody Scott and you, and I believe that was the domestic violence incident that they talked about where you voluntarily met up with him. You recall that?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any child or children with you during that incident?
No.
Okay. You understand that there's two things going on at this hearing today. There's the adversary hearing regarding was the removal proper, and then there's also the aggravated circumstances hearing where the state is asking the judge to allow them to move forward without giving you an opportunity to work services. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you don't dispute the fact that the removal based on his positive drug test. You don't dispute that the drug test and your statements that you couldn't take care of him at this time. You don't dispute that the removal was not proper. Is that right? In other words, you're willing to work services.
Yes, I am.
Okay, but you disagree with the fact that the state CPS is requesting that the court not even allow you an opportunity to work services. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would you be willing to work services in this case if the judge was to allow you to?
Of course.
Okay. Now, you have had some terminations in the past on children. Why would this case be different if the judge was to allow you to give to work services?
I completed all my services the last case, and that's I know I messed up, but I am better now. I am trying to be his mom. I'm doing right by my kids, and I'm working on getting myself better and getting financially stable again so I can be there and be a caregiver for my children.
What kinds of things are you doing to work on yourself?
I've I put in applications because I did stop working during the pregnancy. So I lost a lot of my cleaning my houses that I was cleaning. I still have one. I've put in applications. I work on my car because I don't really have anybody else to do it. I've got it running now. So next I'm working on getting the title and stuff. I've gotten sort of gotten everything with my license taken care of. I'm looking for a house. But right now, I mean, I have a stable place for me and the baby. But I am working towards getting my own place.
Okay, so again, right this very second, you're not in a position to take care of the baby, but if you worked some services and had a little bit of help from CPS, you believe you could be successful this time around?
I was the last time with August. Yes, I went from being homeless and being went homeless, and I was living with my aunt and my uncle, and then I got not just one apartment. I was there for a year and a half, and then the next apartment I was there for a year and a half. I kept a job. I kept working. I worked all of my services and completed them. I know if I had the help, it's just right now, no, I cannot financially take care of him, but I am working to it and I do need a little help.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Ms. Styles, there was a jury trial with August's case, is that correct?
Yeah.
And your rights were terminated, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Gutierrez?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Styles, how old was August when she came into the department's care?
6 months.
And how old was she when your parental rights were terminated to her at that jury trial?
It was September 4.
She must have been 4.
She was 3. Sorry, she was 3.
She was 3. So from 6 months to 3 years, 3.5 years old, correct?
Yes.
Do you think it was fair to August to have to wait on you for that entire time to get clean and not have a stable permanent home?
I had clean drug tests for a year and a half.
I'm going to object to I'm going to object to relevance on that. The August matter is over and done with. There was a termination. It doesn't matter whether she thought that was fair or not.
And Your Honor, if I may respond, I think here she is asking the court not to shorten the time frame to the final hearing. I think it is relevant how long her other children have been waiting for her to get sober. I can't hear you, Your Honor. I apologize.
I sustained his objection.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ms. Styles, there was a substance abuse assessment through OSAR that was ordered in Exhibit, I believe, 17. However, you didn't complete that substance abuse assessment. Do you recall that?
Which one was that? Because I've completed it twice, actually.
It was ordered on June 17th of 2024.
That was the one where she never call me back for another appointment.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you whether or not you completed that OSAR assessment.
I was not allowed to complete it.
It's a yes or no question, Ms. Styles. Did you complete that
I'm
substance abuse
sorry, I don't know how
assessment?
to answer that. If I wasn't given an appointment, I can't give the opportunity to complete it or not. I don't know.
Do you recall your testimony at the jury trial that you were given an appointment and you slept through that appointment, correct?
Oh, my reschedule. Yes, I do. It was rescheduled. Well, I tried to reschedule it because I slept through it and I didn't get a call back.
And you acknowledge that there was domestic violence with Eric Lopez. Is that correct?
When I got arrested?
Yes.
Yes.
And there was domestic violence between you and Paul Chitwood. Is that correct?
Well, I wasn't with Paul though when that happened. I had already left him.
Okay, but he attacked you while you were pregnant in September of 2020. Is that correct?
September. I wasn't pregnant then. I don't believe. Oh, I was, yeah.
Okay. And what about Shay Williams' father? Was there domestic violence with him?
Yes.
Okay. And now there's domestic violence or past domestic violence with Cody Scott, the alleged father of Leslie. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you agree that there was methamphetamine use since 2018 with you as a caretaker of your children. Is that correct?
My children weren't present when they weren't with me when I was doing meth in 2018 and 2019.
Do you recall testifying at the jury trial that you would smoke meth outside while your children were inside?
No, I did not.
Do you recall testifying at the jury trial that you would smoke meth, and on those days that you smoked meth, sometimes you drove the children to school?
No, I did not.
Pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Hill, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Ms. Styles? All right, then. Mr. Hill, did you have any other witnesses?
No, sir, I'll rest.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, did you have witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I rest.
All right, then, Ms. Wiggins, your recommendations?
And Judge, just to clarify, I just do a recommendation for the adversary hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you. I recommend that the department be named temporary managing conservator and that the placement be continued.
Okay, thank you. Okay, give me just a second.
And Your Honor, there might be a Monica Dominguez in the waiting room. If there is, I'd like to call her on rebuttal. She's not, okay, then I'll pass on that and rest, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't have, let me just double check. Yeah, I don't have anyone in the waiting room.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Your Honor, we're also asking for findings of reasonable efforts to prevent removal as well as to reunify since removal.
Okay, I will make the reasonable efforts of to prevent removal. Give me just a minute here. I've got to look at one of those exhibits again real quick. So I'll be right back. I have to switch monitors. Based upon the evidence I've heard today, as well as the exhibits that have been admitted, I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Leslie's current placement. Based on what I've heard today, as well as exhibits, I'm going to grant the department's motion for aggravated circumstances as to Ms. Styles and will waive the requirement of creating a service plan for Ms. Styles. All right, our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be on September 29th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can ask their lawyers or anyone can go on the court's online docket a day or two before September 29th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Mr. Hill, if you would explain to Ms. Styles her de novo rights as to my rulings today.
And Your Honor, that hearing on September 29th, is that the initial permanency hearing?
Well, you call it what you want, but we've still got 3 alleged fathers to deal with, so I want to keep that process moving. So
okay.
We can call it whatever we want to call it. I mean, we may, if I have any kind of results back, it may be a status hearing as to if we can establish a biological father by then. So we'll call it what you want, but we'll have our next hearing that day. So,
Your Honor.
Yes.
May I ask for like contact visitations? I'm only getting 30-minute video visits and I would like to hold my son again.
I'll say this, Ms. Styles. Where are you living now?
With my aunt and uncle.
Where at?
At 8108 Alexandria.
No, I don't.
Oh, Amarillo, sorry, Amarillo, Texas.
Yeah, you don't want to give me an address. We're on YouTube. I will order that Ms. Styles can have in-person visits, and I think the standard we start out with is an hour a week, not 30 minutes. Once she provides the department with a negative hair strand and UA drug screen.
Your Honor, with aggravated circumstances, the department is asking that Ms. Styles not have visitation with the child.
No, I'm not going to grant that. All right. If there's nothing else, then this was our last hearing for the day. So we will stand in recess. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you.
Mr. Hill, did you need any kind of breakout room with Ms. Styles now, or do you want to just call her or what?
No, straw caller.
Okay, appreciate it. All right,
Thank
y'all
you.
have a good week. We'll be in recess. This is a permanency hearing involving the Caesar child, Kingston David Rioja Caesar.
We had tried to come to an agreement to treat this as a final, but we were unable to. So we are asking, we are proceeding with the perm hearing today, Your Honor, but we're asking for mediation to be ordered.
Okay.
And I think the docket has a proposed final hearing date of 9/29. That's under 45 days notice, Your Honor, but the parties might be agreeable to waive that notice and set that final. Stacy, would that be agreeable?
Judge, we would waive notice for the mother, ask for mediation, and agree to the final date reflected on the docket.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lucero, is that?
Yes, Your Honor. We also waive and see if we can get this worked out in mediation. I think we're close.
Okay. Ms. Archer, will you waive?
Yes, I will, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then. All right. We'll proceed just as a permanency hearing, and I will, at the conclusion of the hearing, I'll announce that final date for 9/29/25.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Sean Ryan as its witness.
All right. All right, Mr. Ryan, you were previously sworn this morning. You're still under oath. So Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sean, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries. I'm a permanency specialist.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are assigned to the child Kingston Riojas, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you prepared a court report that was filed on August 15th of 2025, is that correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
So noted, and I did read the report.
Thank you. Now, Sean, that court report reflects reunification for the child for placement. Whose home is the child currently placed in?
It's Desiree Riojas, the mother.
Can you give us some details on how that placement is going?
It's going very good, actually. Desiree we had some concerns in the very beginning, before placement of, Kingston. He had a lot of health issues going on, but Desiree's done a really good job of making sure he gets what he needs in terms of doctor's appointments if he needs to go to the hospital for whatever reason, things like that. It's currently going really well.
Okay, that's great. Have there been any major medical incidents since the filing of the court report?
Major, no, ma'am.
Okay. As far as service plan progress, how has Desiree progressed on her services?
She's done her services for us, and she continues to do AA meetings as well. So she is doing an extended. She's making sure she's doing extended care, I would say, just to make sure that she has an extra kind of support.
Okay, that's great. And what about Mr. Steve? How's he progressing on his service plan?
On his service plan, he's completed everything except BIP. He hasn't started any BIP services yet. I've made 2 referrals since the case has started, and I know Erica, the previous worker, made a referral as well for BIP, so he hasn't started BIP at all. And he's not currently living in Amarillo either, so that's kind of the concern with that. But I mean, that's the only service he needs to complete.
Okay.
And it's just an evaluation as well. Whatever they evaluate, they'll give us instruction on what needs to come next. But as of right now, it's just an evaluation.
Okay. And have you, and I may be incorrect, but I believe that evaluation was already completed, Mr. Ryan. Have you discussed that evaluation being done with the supervisor on the case?
I don't believe so. From what I know, it has not been completed yet.
Alrighty. And is Mr. Caesar in communication with you?
He is.
Okay. And is his living situation appropriate for the child?
No, it is not. I don't currently know where. I mean, I know where he's living. He's in Colorado City from where he reported. I do not have an address, nor do I know who lives in that house. So we would need to see who lives in there to be able to clear that, if that makes sense. Just as a precaution, for sure.
And when did he and Ms. Rioja stop residing together?
The day he was placed, to the best of my knowledge, I think he left that night or the next morning. One of the two. I'm pretty sure it was that night.
Okay. And Ms. Riojas might have more current information, but to your knowledge, has he had any physical contact with the child since then?
He has had contact with them. I don't know when or where, but apparently he's been down here a couple of times since the child did get placed to visit Kingston.
Okay.
But the dates I really don't know.
Okay, that's good to hear. As far as visitation, does Dad have court-ordered visitation right now?
I don't believe so, since the child was technically reunified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we asking for the court to make any temporary visitation orders between now and the final hearing?
I don't believe so. I mean, we can just kind of leave it up to Desiree. We don't think it's a problem for him to visit Kingston. It's just we cannot place Kingston back in the home that he's currently at because we don't know, like I said, who lives there. It's a safety concern for us.
Are we asking for any drug screens to be ordered today?
No, ma'am.
And can you please describe the department's reasonable efforts to reunify?
We've provided both parents a family plan of service, gave them visits, and drug screens, and all the services were targeted to help them in their recovery.
Okay, and as far as reunifying the child in the mother's home, is that also a reasonable effort to reunify?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any requests for the court today other than mediation and setting the final?
No, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Thank you, Ms. Grant. Questions?
No questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lucero.
Just one. Mr. Ryan, as far as the BIP evaluation, is that something that since he's living out of area that can be set up to be done via Zoom?
Potentially. I would have to get with Family Support Services to see if they do offer that. From what I understand, it does have to be in person. But I can talk to them and explain the situation and see if that would be an option.
Okay. Okay. And just to be clear, I know I'm kind of going way back here, but whenever this child was removed, I know he's been reunified or working towards reunification with his mother. Mr. Caesar, he was the non-offending parent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Archer.
No questions.
Ms. Wiggins.
Thank you. Mr. Ryan, who told you that Dad visited in person?
Desiree Riojas did.
Okay, did she tell you how many times?
I think it was a few. I want to say 3. I don't know the exact amount. I've just kind of, when I popped in to check on him, I've kind of just been, has she seen him, blah, blah, blah. And that's what she's reported to me.
Okay, and so just so I'm clear on the timeline of events, the child was returned back to the home and both parents were living there.
Correct.
And then the father left either that night the child was returned or the next day.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Anyone further questions for Mr. Ryan? All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Yes, Your Honor. The department briefly calls Ms. Riojas just to ask her about visitation.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'd unmute.
Yes.
Thank you. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gutierrez?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Riojas, can you briefly tell us what kind of visitation Mr. Caesar is having and just some details like when it's occurring and if it's supervised?
I call him when I'm not busy because like I've been working a lot and stuff like that. I'll call him, let him know how his son's doing. I'll video chat with him so he can see his son like in action, where he can see him crawling or doing stuff. He's came one time. Since he left, he's came one time. He spent the night. He spent time with his son, and then he left, and that's it. Like, I mean, we talk here and there when I'm not busy, when I don't have a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, when I call him, I'll tell him, hey, I'm taking your son to the hospital. He's sick. Or I'll let him, or we went to the dentist's office. I mean, I keep him involved in his life no matter what. I do that.
Okay, thank you. Pass the witness.
Anyone else have questions for Ms. Riojas?
Yes, sir.
No questions, Judge.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. The department rests at this time.
All right, Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
No, Judge. Ms. Gutierrez covered the one question I had.
All right, Ms. Lucero?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Archer?
No questions.
All right, Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I recommend that the placement with the mother be continued. It seems like she's doing a wonderful job caring for the baby and making sure that he has all his medical conditions up to date. He does have some significant breathing issues, so she's making sure those are going well. As far as the visitation, I'm fine with the calls and video chats. I would just ask that the mother supervise any in-person visits.
All right. Okay, then, Ms. Archer, is there anything you need any additional recommendations you need to make as guardian ad litem for Ms. Riojas?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I will continue the current placement with Ms. Riojas. I will order mediation and order that someone supervise Mr. Caesar with any in-person visitation. All right, that will conclude this hearing. I will set the final hearing for September 29th, 2025. recognizing that all parties have waived the required 45 days notice of final hearing. Parties can talk to their lawyers or go on the court's online docket a day or two before September 29th to see exactly what time of day we will have that final hearing. All right. If something comes up, if you can't get to mediation, if there's anything changes, let the court know. So, okay.